Testing 1, 2. Is that juddering? Might be. Dropping frames. Ooh, that's huge. Try it out. Resolution is not optimal. Yeah. This is a mess. Right. Hello. My mic, which mic? There should be a mic working here somewhere. There is. My fan is full on. Anyway, for those who might be joining, if there is anyone, I don't know. I'm using YouTube with OBS, and I'm just experimenting and trying to tidy up as I go along, which is something I'm not very good at. Oh, I do need that cable. Oh, I'm glad I got that cable. I do need that cable. Right. My plan is to do some testing. So, I've been currently working on a computer. which I'm not going to be able to put on stream. Great. I don't know what playbacks means. Maybe people are playing this back. I don't know. This is going to be a bit of a listing day. There's something. Let's do that. Let's do that. I basically need to make some money and there we go. I gotta make sure my OBS settings are correct. There we go, mic's on now. Let me just check that. Hello, audio input camera. Yeah, this is better. Okay, sorry about that. If there's anyone in the world actually watching now, I suspect this is the time when Carla goes live. So I suspect the fan base is with her anyway. I have no fans. Okay, so as I tidy up, you can watch me tidy up. God, this is going to be riveting. Oh, a graphics card. I use a lot of graphics cards like this in my PC stuff, and you think, oh my god, I haven't seen one of them for donkey's years, and it's AGP, which is this connector here. Now, the thing is, this is an FX 8200 128 meg DDR TV DVI. When and this is the one where you have a video out, you can go into a special lead, and then it'll have photos on the end. It does look rather much like an S-Video connector as well. So, but these cards are used in arcade machines. But at the moment I'm currently fixing a Silver Strike bowling, and that is AGP and old cards. But the thing is, a lot of the more newer machines, as in more maybe affordable machines, like Terminator Salvation or Guitar Hero, they would also use cards like, well, maybe not Guitar Hero, but more basically what I'm trying to say is old cards. So there is a benefit for selling second-hand cards, because they all come in very, very useful. And just found my invoice. This here is a transistor tester. What you can do with it, there's a capacitor. You'll see on the top of this capacitor there's a little bulge right there, a little bulge, and it's a bit fat. You can see it's probably poking out the bottom there a little bit. So this is what happens, they kind of like explode. Now this isn't the best one, I got a few of these. You basically put the transistor into pegs 1 and 2 or something like that, press OK, and yeah, it will then test that capacitor. And there's a bird at the window. Go away, bird. Right, now you got a voltage source of 1.2%, capacitance of 194, ESR of 0.34 ohms. That's what you're looking at. The lower the ESR, the better it is. 194. This is 220. Wandered off a little bit from this design. Probably still okay for what it is. But I changed it on that one. And as always, everything goes amiss. Now the other tool I've got in here, might as well show it where I got it, and I'm looking for something to put in it. This is an IC tester. Let me get some ICs. I think I know where there's some ICs. Okay, I'm back. This is a bit fiddly. I haven't tried any of these yet, so these are sockets. There's a few ICs in here. Right, an IC, microchip, whatever you want to call it. I'll just turn my microscope on a minute. Come back to that in a minute. Just put it under there. Now, I'm just going to check to see what this is. It's 74LS09P. Okay. So on here we've got a little mark at the top saying how to insert the chip. This should be off. Goes that way around with the notch at the top. Close it. When I turn it back on, it does do a search and gives a weird error message, which is stupid. And then you press enter again, and there it goes. 74. Not sure what that is, but it's an 09. So basically, what that has done is it's tested that chip to make sure it's working, and it seems like it is. What else we got? Off. Put that in. Close the. That's a gripper that grips the items. Search. Gives you a stupid error code. And that should be a 4011 or a 4093. Sorry, off camera. 40911 or 4093. So let's have a look under the microscope. It's ST Instruments. It's a 4093 BE, HC4093 BE. So that's pretty good. Pretty good measurement. I'll just chuck all them in there for now because I've got absolutely no use for them whatsoever. So chips like that and their little holders are useful for repairing logic circuits. For instance, I've got a Commodore Amiga CD32 in bits here, which needs a bit of work, and on there is surface mount. Some of these smaller chips could be logic, well, not in that case, but on the bigger boards, computer boards, they would be. Or let's bring this up. Arcade boards. There's some chips there, for instance. Some of them are memory, some of them are logic. They can break and render the game useless. Now I've got a pile of boards just over there, which I need to go through and fix. So yeah, it gives you some idea. Now, sorry about the post being in the way. I might take that out one day. I have a monitor above there and some weight, so it's not the ideal thing to remove. So I need to start listing this. Is this actually new old stock? Nah, it can't be. I'm just going to check this. Barnstable Rotary Shop. Well, okay. So this is pat tested. And they've actually put their a sticker on, pat testing sticker. So I will take it that it works. So I'm trying to remember where I bought it. So I don't need this anymore because I've got another one in here that gives out a fair amount of voltage. So what we got? It's quite tidy, isn't it? Regulated power supply, output 30.8, 5 amp constant, 7.5 surge. Alright, fair enough. So you would use one of these with, say, a radio, like a CB or something similar. Now, I don't have a pat tester, but basically what they do is check that it's safe, as in none of the wires are touching ground. Well, officially neutral is kind of touching ground, but that's a story for another day. We'll plug that in. Turn it on. And you'll hear a buzz. It's buzzing away. There's a light on the front. I'm not getting electric shocks. I've got a light on the front. And that's working. So what I'm going to do is just pop it there. I might put it on its edge like that. Get my meter. Put it in volts. $13.47. That's the typical voltage that you will get from anything like this. Now, it will say on the front 13.8 volts. Now, once you put your leads on the end to your machine or radio or whatever, some red and black leads on the end of that going across, you will get a drop of voltage. You've also got the amps to take into account, so if there's like 2 amps of power, this will drop just fractionally. So that's why it's talking about a constant 5 amp supply and a 7.5 amp surge. So if you had a radio that keys up, does a lot of power all of a sudden, then you would need a surge, quick surge. Or if you plug in something like a drill or something, and you wanted it to start, it might be resistance, it needs a bit of power to push it around. So that's what that is. So I'm happy with that. That can be listed. Right, so that needs to go in my area for photography. I've just found the camera and I'm just going to have a quick experiment before I continue. I'm going to put it in studio mode. So I don't know if this is going to work. No, it's not. It's plugged in, isn't it? Yeah, it is plugged in. One thing I'm not very good at is titling things. not very good at titling things, so. Apparently got a good connection. Just experimenting. Right. It's annoying that camera didn't work. I'll work on that. Okay, sorry about that. If anyone was indeed watching, of course, which at the moment doesn't look like there is. I'm up against Carla. I'm probably 2 Aussie thrifters at this point. So, this sounds daft, but I'm going to fix... Oh, bloody shoot, I have to do something about that. Yes, I'm going to fix a mask. I've got several of these actually. This is brand new, this one. The idea of these here is it's got a weak glue on them so they come off. And the idea is if it gets stuck around like a seagull, it doesn't hurt them. So I'm just going to put a touch of Loctite brush on. And I'm going to hold it down with it. Oh, I expect I'm failing already. Feels like I am. This is what Dave Repairs is going to be all about, is fixing masks. Huh, fell off. I know I could get another one. I do get these regularly. But just do it at both surfaces. And then try and seal it that way. Come on. Do, 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 do. Yeah, so as I say, I wear these at work. Work's got quite a few at the moment, so that's not too much of a problem right now. There we go. Seems to have cured. I just wanted that one to last a little bit longer, and I've got glue everywhere. So, testing voltages. Now this is something I picked up. It's called a Fluke 110 True RMS multimeter, and any probes pretty much can be used with them. I've got these removable probes, so I can put alternative probes on the end, like some other forms of clamps or something. These were cheap, these probes. This unit is expensive. It does the usual continuity testing. Does DC voltage, which is your usual, like what you find in the household stuff. AC, which is your mains or other things. It also has ohms, which is auto sensing. So when you put it on there, it will work out what ohmage it is. It's got diode, so if you've got diode, you can work out which, if voltage is passing. It's similar to continuity, but it does it a different way. I'm not going to go into that now. And it does have capacitance, which when you put it on something like this, put the negative lead on the capacitor and one on the other, it should 443 microfarad, 443 microfarad, 470 microfarad. That's close. So it's also got other things like hold the screen, minimum and maximum range, and hertz. Hertz is for measuring to see if there's 50 or 60 hertz in your mains, that sort of thing. Now this is, I like this, it has 2 inputs. A lot of multimeters have 3. So it's got community and everything else is coming off here. It's rated to category 3, 600 volts. So in simple terms, what you probe, if you've got that in a different hole on some of the other multimeters, you could end up in trouble. it takes the guesswork out. It's got some, and Fluke are pretty much considered to be one of the best out there in terms of multimeter stuff. Now, other tools I've got here, because I live in a mess basically. Dremel, love it. I've got a very, very fine pitched bit. Now to change bits, you press down that, it locks the chuck, and then you can unscrew that and then take the bit out and put in a different one, which could be some other thing like a sander disc or so. I don't even know where the box of tools is at the moment. This is normally turns on and spins round. Currently unplugged, but very variable for doing short works, cutting work or sanding, or just making holes bigger. This is I use it as a lot, to be honest. I've got to be a bit careful with it. Right, so this desoldering tools. That, well, I got a couple of these on the bench here, and there's another one hanging around. There we go. Wick. Now, as you can imagine, I do soldering, and then in fact the other one is this here. This is hot air. I'll bring that on the screen. It's unplugged at the moment. That tool there fires heat at about 400 degrees out of the nozzle. That on the end there. That will warm up components to allow you to remove them on your board. That's what that does. In fact, I don't need that hanging around like that. I might be able to get that down there for the moment. Okay. So wick. It's a little bit still on here. We cut this off. It's basically a copper. As you desolder your bits, use wick, it comes off on your circuit. It absorbs the solder, and it's amazing how it does it. It really is. It's really useful. One of the more useful things in here. The old-fashioned solder suckers. This one's a little bit better than this one. This should really end up in the bin, really. This is pretty good. So you pull that down, press the button, and as you hover over your circuit, it will suck up the excess solder. This is one I recently bought, which is really good. It's exactly the same principle, but instead it's got a high temperature tube on the front of it, and it will allow you to suck up just like that, and it fits your hand a bit easier, and it's a really good suction on it. These are a bit weaker. You can do a really good job on those. I'm just going to put them in my drawer. Tidy as a go. IPA. Not much of it left. With the current crisis as it is, a lot of that was used. It's 99% alcohol. Alcohol affects that so-called, well, affects the virus, I should be saying. The virus. A lot of the cleaners that you put on your hands, sanitizers, they will use alcohol in them. And that's all it is. Really straightforward. Okay. So, I've tried to rig up a camera in the other room. That hasn't worked. So, it's not really working. I am just going to leave this streaming. No one's turned up yet. It makes me laugh. I've got 210 subscribers and no one's on. They're all watching Carla. And all that car boots. I'm back with no one. So what's next to list? I got a room full of pretty much everything. Um, this could go, I suppose. Get rid of some stickers. Okay. This is a Motec microscope, but he's a bit weird. I was using it before I got the big microscope, and it was quite cumbersome to use for electronics, but for slides or something on the, yeah, I'd be right for that. I don't have any slides, but he goes up and down. You've got the manual control there. You've got visions. This has got a 10x. My other one has a 10x on there as well. I suppose I could have kept it just for the for these. To change these, you've got a little hole here and a little screw in there that takes that whole optic out. Same with the big one up here, which you can't really see. Yeah, I can't move the camera too much. Could be disastrous. Yeah, what it might be. But it's got those eyes, which are designed for glasses. So when I go up close to it, like oh, I can't really see out at all. When you go up to it, they bounce on your glasses. On my bigger scopes, but these ones might not. But the optics alone might be worth more than the scope. So I'm thinking about just listing it as it is and letting it go. It has a 4 times, a 2 times. That's a 2 times and a 4 times. So that's that. Just gonna grab a couple of shots of this. Right, I'm back again. Sorry. 50 quid's worth apparently. Didn't think it'd be as much as that. That's pretty good. So I'm going to list it. Get rid. Now, this one. I got another microscope. Let me make some more room here. What is it about me and microscopes? They're everywhere. You're right, they are everywhere. Bit of silver. Right. So I was traveling the country. I came across this chap and I couldn't resist. I wanted something to do what this big one does. And now I've got one. I don't need it. This was 10 quid. It cost me 10 quid. I knew I would probably get more than 10 quid. So I bought it. And this has got a 5-year guarantee. Gift aid too. So of course, obviously, charity shop. Now the reason why this is interesting is because it's got a camera on top. Now on my other scope here, that's actually a camera port. It's what they call a trinocular camera. I put a bit of money in this because I want to broadcast what I'm doing when I know what I'm doing. So, I don't think I've had this out. So this is where it all could go wrong. You can see it's sellotaped. So this is called a Biolux NG. We found a bag. We found 2 bags. We found a manual. Instructions for use. Okay. Which way round is this? This is the moment of truth. Is it complete? Now, first of all, there's the microscope, and we've got some more WF10 lenses, which is fabulous. So these go in the top. They're a little bit smaller than the ones I'm familiar with. They should probably be in there and there. Okay, so we've got another sight. Is it complete? That's the question. Is it complete? I don't see any software. Oh, right, slides with number 7 missing. Oh, these are samples. Oh, right. Oh, there's one on it. There's one on it. Oh, we've got. It's probably to do with the light. The light at the bottom. Okay. So let's have a look here. I don't want to get anything mixed up here. This has been sat on the shelf for quite a few years. We've got a cover. Okay, we've got a cover. That's behind me. Put that behind me. Ah, I see. We're missing its power supply. Right. Power supply is missing. Okay, I might have to deal with that. So, basically, this is the lens. Put it on top like that. Plug it in. Now I've got a light on the camera. Is this going to be intelligent enough to install me a camera? Nah. No, there's no camera. Okay. So, including PC RDR. Photo Explorer SE. Let's have a look. Is it Mac? I'm probably going to need a different driver, aren't I? So, one moment as I try and get into Chrome. Biolux NG microscope. Typed it in before. Interesting that it will remember what you typed in, isn't it? Bressa download. Okay, so I have found something. I ended up on Bressa. Where was Biolux gone? Why did I end up on this page? MacCam. Let's see what happens. So I'm using third-party software to try and run this camera. I might even run my other camera, so it's worth downloading. Where is it? Is that counting down and stopping? Four, 3, 2, 1. There it goes. This could be a stupid idea. Read these files first. GNU public license. Don't work, doesn't it? It's too old. Stupid. Let's forget that. It's probably going to work in Windows, which means rebooting the Mac. Okay, let's reboot the Mac. I need to get on. Thank you all for watching. If you will.